So, here's my round 1 opponent's team. I'm sorry for the really bad cropping job, but, like, they changed it so it's not... It's vertical and not horizontal, which looks terrible. But this is the best I could have done to crop it. So this is my round 1. Or my round 2, technically. Because I got a bye. Groudon is annoying. I don't really like playing against Groudon. But at the bright side, they don't have an annoying dark type like Umbreon or Grimmsnarl to deal with. The only big issues are the Umbreon. Umbreon's more of the issue, I would say. But they didn't have that. They had Glacier Hitmontop, which is really interesting. The Hitmontop was White Herb. The annoying part was the fact that they have, like, a lot of priority moves. Like, well, okay, one priority move. The Mach Punch and the Fake Out were really annoying. And they have Sleep Powder on Venusaur, so I have to be careful of that. AV Groudon is interesting. I've never seen Shadow Claw before on a Groudon. So that was really weird. I needed to do Phantasm calcs before I got started in the match. And it turns out it only does like 80% to Dragapult. Which, okay, only 80%. That's a lot of damage. I can mitigate that with Wyrmwind drops and Intimidate. So they don't have White Herb on that, which is good. The Glacier is going to be annoying in Trick Room if I let them get that up. But the plan is to either not get it up or let them stall it out. And basically, generally around this kind of game plan, I like to stick with my Incineroar Pult lead. And that was what I was going in. Ah, yes, no Rock Slide. Yeah, even on Assault Vest, that's really weird. It had 4 attacks with no Rock Slide. So that was really odd. So enough talking, let's get into the game. I'm gonna skip to the team preview. So, going into this, I knew I wanted to lead Incin and Dragapult, because I got the goggles on it. I also have Taunt on my Incineroar. And basically, I wasn't sure what to do against Hitmontop Dusclops, but I figured I might as well I'll find a way eventually once I see what they're going to be leading, because I'm more scared of the Venusaur because they have the Sleep Powder. Zordor, how you doing today? Hope your day's going well. Congrats on making top 16, by the way. I really wished I could have beat Paul and we would have been playing next week, but unfortunately did not come to play. So hopefully you can avenge me. Please avenge me. I don't like Umbreon. All right. So they go with Dusclops and Hitmontop, which was annoying. I expected that, but I still think this was my safest lead. So I thought a long time about this because I don't like the matchup I have. I feel you, Zordor. Quiver Dancer, how you doing? I gotta pull out the Articuno. What am I doing? I gotta have Articuno nearby to do the wave. Well, I don't know why I just realized they're Frisk Dusclops in an open team sheet tour. I just realized that right now. They're not pressure. So I didn't want to max, because I know I cannot kill this Dusclops. I am Jolly. Lucky Wolf, how you doing today? I'm Jolly, so I didn't want to waste my max. They can get Trick Room up, because, like, they're forced to get Trick Room up, is the problem. So I thought long and hard about this turn, and I thought I should just switch in Zacian and Phantom Force. I didn't want to waste my max early, and I'd still be doing a lot of damage. This wasn't the smartest play, I don't think, in hindsight. Like, I could have at least attempted to get damage. But I'm gonna Phantom Force here. I'm glad you're excited. I'm doing good today. I'm just very excited to talk about these matches, for sure. I'm so happy with the last project, though. I'm so happy with how that went. So anyways, they get up Trick Room. I'm just gonna protect, because they have no choice but to double into me, because my Dragapult is currently hiding in the void. And I'm gonna get big damage on this Dusclops and waste a turn of their Trick Room. White Herb Hitmontop is really annoying and interesting. It wasn't Dive Pult. It wasn't Dive Pult. I don't think Dive would have helped me, because it still doesn't fix the problem with Umbreon. Umbreon's the problem, not Groudon. So now I decide, okay, I don't really want to stay in here. I'm going to go to Incineroar. They're going to close combat my Zacian again, so I'm just going to weaken their damage. And go for Behemoth Blade, I think. Did I Behemoth Blade or did I sub? I don't remember what I did here. I was thinking a lot about this turn. I think in the end I chose to sub. And see, the problem is this Hitmontop is only at -1 and not -2. This is why you run player of. I mean, I guess. I liked sub a lot though. Now, close combat's gonna do a lot of damage, unfortunately, but I'm at 45 HP, which is just enough for a substitute. So now I'm at 1 health the rest of the game, which is not great. I really need this Zacian to be alive, because they brought their Trick Room mode, which means they have Glacier. So now I just decide, you know what, I need to fake out the Hitmontop, and I think I needed to get rid of the Hitmontop. That's what I did, from what I remember. I'm just trying to remember this turn, because it's been quite a lot of matches. This was my round 1, so it's not the earliest memory. Like, I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to do here. I think I just parting shotted and protected, actually, which worked out because they switched their they switched in their Groudon, and their Groudon's gonna be taking a parting shot. Yeah, Umbreon. See, the problem is the fact they have so much. I'll get into that more as we play it, but we'll eventually get to that match when we get there. We got a whole stream to talk about it. This Groudon is gonna take a parting shot, and now I'm in a really good spot. Well, not the best spot, but I've wasted a lot of their turns at Trick Room. They haven't gotten much damage. I can get Dragapult in right now. And I think now I'm safe to max because they don't have Will-O-Wisp on their Dusclops. So I can max safely, go for the Phantasm into the Dusclops, and switch out my 1 HP Zacian into Incin, because I know they're going to try and double and take it out with a Nightshade and a Precipice Blades. I think did I do Incin or did I do Porygon? I don't remember what I did. I should have done Porygon. I know I did, actually no, I did Incin. In hindsight, I should have went Porygon, because they're obviously going to Nightshade. But I don't know why I thought I thought this was not the best play. Silent, how you doing today? No, I didn't get Max Phantasm by a Groudon. That's not what happened. I'm happy you were able to make Suicune usable. Honestly, Zordor, I'm a big fan of Suicune, and I wish I could use it, but unfortunately, couldn't use it. But this Groudon's at -1. It's not that much of a threat at all. But they're more inclined to take out Zacian because they have a Glacier in the back. But yes, in hindsight, I should have went into Porygon here, because they were -1 with their thing, and they were obviously going to click Precipice Blades. Why would I switch in Incin? But Phantasm's going to come out, take out this Dusclops. And now it isn't the worst thing in the world. Their Glacier is weakness policy, so it's not as concerning because they don't have the Life Orb. So I can mitigate the damage, and their Trick Room runs out. Now I believe they go Glacier here? Yeah, they go Glacier. And I can Wyrmwind and Parting Shot here. Actually, I think, do I do that? Because, like, the problem is I don't remember if Groudon was faster than my thing. I might have max guarded. Because it's been a while. Yeah, P-Blade's when I use it 0% accurate, but if they use it, they hit everything, right? Definitely accurate situation. So I was really thinking on what to do here, because, like, I was convinced I'm dead to this. Like, I eventually chose to guard. Because I could not lose Dragapult here. If I lose Dragapult, I think I lose. And I went for Flare Blitz into the Glacier because it's in the sun. They actually switch out their thing, which was interesting. Their Groudon. So I could have got a free parting shot. Unfortunately, I did not get a free parting shot this way. And the big problem is that, you know, I would be able to get my Zacian in for free if I were to switch around, but my Zacian is at 1 health, and this Hitmontop has Mach Punch, and that's not great. You guys are gonna realize this 1 HP Zacian is gonna come in clutch later. So now, I'm not in the best positions here. Like, I lost a lot of positioning from that because I didn't parting shot. So I go for the Wormwind. I need to weaken this, this Glacier. Because I need to be able to get it in range of my, to get it into a position where Zacian can beat it once I get rid of the Hitmontop. Not the easiest thing to do with, what they have left still. And they were taking a while with this turn, too. But yes, they do decide to max their Glacier, not shocking to anybody at all. And, I believe they just go for Hailstorm. It's important to note that this Hitmontop is actually slower than, what's it called? My Incineroar. So it's a really slow Hitmontop. The only low accuracy move I never miss is Focus Blast on Pheromosa. She never missed that. How? Literally how? I never seen the animation for it. But, unfortunately, Hitmontop lives. Not the greatest thing in the world. And they go for Hailstorm, I believe? No, they went for Quake. I disagree with that. I think they should have went for Hailstorm, but... Fun fact, I never hit... Yeah, exactly. I never see the animation. But they go for Quake. So, which means they leave my Dragapult alive, and that's huge. Because I can still stall out their turns of max with Dragapult with a combination of Protect and Phantom Force. Because they wasted a max move into Incineroar, which I don't agree with, because they have their thing. Now, I would have loved to bring in Zacian, but unfortunately I cannot do that. So I'm gonna have to go Porygon. The animation for Focus Blast. It doesn't have an animation, because it doesn't hit. It just says they avoided. Now, I expected them to target Porygon here, because Phantom Force is obvious. So I think I just went for Darts. I'm pretty confident I went for Darts. Because why would they hit the Dragapult that is obviously going to Phantom Force, right? I just thought long and hard about this turn, because it was a really difficult turn. I just needed to get rid of the Hitmontop, and then there would be less issues. But this is a really bad position right now, because Porygon isn't really doing anything. I'm mono Ice Beam. I ended up choosing to Protect, because it would keep me on the field. Yeah, Azu was a while ago. Man, I remember Azu in 2015. That was fun. But they choose to close for close combat. And, that doesn't kill, of course. So I'm gonna be able to get rid of their Hitmontop. And now it's a 2v3, but my Zacian is at 1 health still, which is a big problem. Again, I think they should have Hailstormed. Like, I don't think Knuckle was the play at all, because once they get me into, like, once they get the Hail up, I just lose because they can just Protect. And honestly, looking back, that Protect wasn't great, but I really think they should have Hailstormed. I think that was a big misplay on their part. So Groudon comes in, And I'm like, okay, I have to Phantom Force here. And get damage onto the Groudon. I need to get rid of Groudon. And I have to ignore Glacier for now. Which is sad but true. And I just need to hope they don't Hailstorm. Because I can't afford to have them Hailstorming here. I guess, yeah. So they actually go for Shadow Claw into Dragapult, which I'm very confused by. I don't know why they didn't click President's Blades. And I believe they went for Knuckle. But yeah, they should have went for Hailstorm here, because they would have killed me regardless. Like, I don't think them getting an attack boost helps them at all. I guess they were trying to make sure I died, but I just died at close combat anyways. That's my thought process. If I were to recover. So now I bring in Zacian. And so I'm like, okay, I think I lose here. I need to hope they mess up and somehow protect their Glacier. Or they miss a high horsepower, or like, you know, they click the wrong move. They click high horsepower or something into my thing. Or they target the Dragapult for some unknown reason. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of Groudon. And I'm gonna hope they mess up. There's like 3 ways they could mess up. So I'm gonna hope they do mess up. And the Glacier actually went for Protect, which was a big throw. So they did mess up. And as you guys saw, I doubled into the Groudon. And I'm just like, okay, I win now. So that wasn't the easiest game in the world. Like, I've definitely played a lot worse than he did. But, he messed up. So, they had 2 opportunities to take this game and they didn't take any of them. Is the way I look at it. It was really weird. But now this Glacier has no chance of surviving, and we're currently up game 1. Let me just update the set counter while this is playing out. One second, guys. OBS is being stupid. I'd like it to update before the game starts. Okay. So, we take game 1, not the most convincing way possible. Like, that was really uncomfortable. So I'm like, okay, the thing is, they should know they messed up, right? So they should stick with the same game plan. Because it was working, they just need to execute it differently. Like, they should stick with the same game plan. Is my thought process. My thought process is I assumed they knew where they messed up. So they wouldn't bring, like, Venusaur lead. So I wanted to adapt to their Hitmontop and Dusclops lead, which in hindsight wasn't the best idea. But I really thought, you know, they weren't bringing Venusaur to this matchup because what does Venusaur really do? Let me put up the team sheet again so you guys can see it. It's Life Orb, so it's at risk of dying to an Airstream when I fake it out. Like, they saw I led Incin Pult the last game. I don't think they would choose to lead Venusaur into that. So I chose to change up my lead a little bit. Because I was very uncomfortable with how that game played out. Like, I only won because they messed up. But they actually bring Venusaur Groudon. So I was like, well, this is not great. Like, I'm already forced into an uncomfortable position. So I was just like, okay, I need to figure out what slot they're gonna Quake. So I'm gonna Protect and switch in P2. Here's what I did. I'm very shocked they go with this lead. But it's great that the Groudon doesn't have Swords Dance, they're Assault Vest. So they can't really threaten me. So I believe I just opted to Protect and go into Porygon. I don't think I went for any risky plays with my Incineroar, or tried to call where the attack went. I feel like that was very unnecessary, but yeah, I did go into Porygon. This play was very safe. And I have Eerie Impulse and Ice Beam to threaten the Venusaur. If it maxes, which it should be maxing here. Because they can't really Sleep Powder. Like, Sleep Powder doesn't help them. Because I have Fake Out Pressure. So they will max. We get the special attack boost, I think? Yeah, we do get the special attack boost thanks to Groudon. And yes, they do max the Venusaur, unsurprisingly. Pretty sure nobody's shocked by that. So I believe Max Quake comes out into the Porygon. Like, Max Quake obviously comes out, but I believe it hit Porygon. So I protect here, because I don't want to take any risks. And they go for Max Quake, of course. And, yeah, they actually hit Zacian, so I'm very glad I protected. Because that would have been horrible. And the Groudon, I believe, went for Precipice Blades. Like, there's no reason to go for anything else here. And they are -1, which is very helpful. Yeah, loving the in-game audio. Yeah, I'm very proud of my my in-game audio that I didn't record. Ryan, how you doing? Okay, so now I'm not in the best spots because I think I have to make a choice on whether I want to. I don't want to sack Zacian here. So I was really thinking, do I Eerie Impulse or do I Ice Beam? And I think I chose to Eerie Impulse in the end. So I switch out my Zacian, go into Incineroar here, because I'd rather lose Incineroar than lose Zacian, because I need Zacian in case they brought the Glacier. Like, I think Zacian is too important to lose, especially, it's also good versus Groudon, as weird as that sounds. Dusclops comes in, so that basically confirms they have Glacier in the back. Like, it's not surprising at all. I still don't understand why they have Frisk in an open team sheet tour. To be honest, I didn't even notice. I was more focused on the game. But yeah, they hit my Incineroar. Incineroar actually lives a Life Orb Max Quake, which is amazing. I could have just stayed in and Flare Blitzed it. Would have been great, turn 1, if I'd known that. But that's good information if I need to go to game 3. So we Eerie Impulse this Venusaur. And now, I still don't like this positioning. Because now they can Trick Room if they needed to. Like, I don't see a reason for them to not Trick Room here. Because they need to get their Glacier in the Trick Room, and it becomes a lot harder for me to play the game. So I choose to Taunt in the off chance they decide to not kill my Incineroar here. And I just decide to Ice Beam the Venusaur because there's no reason to lower its special attack anymore. And they took a while for this turn, too. Okay, they actually switch out Dusclops. And go into Groudon again, which is, I think, is a smart play. Because that basically allows them to get on without getting intimidated. And they actually Vine Lash Incineroar, which I agree with that, because they have to avoid the Flare Blitz damage. That makes sense. Because otherwise they're taking way too much. I think they die. I'm pretty confident they die. Especially with the Life Orb. Ice Beam doesn't do that much. Because of the Max Quake. And the Vine Lash is very annoying. So, the problem is that this Venusaur is not going to be maxed anymore, and it has Sleep Powder pressure on me. Which I didn't consider until this turn. So I'm like, this is not great. I think I have to dodge a Sleep Powder. I think I'm going to have to just max and dodge a Sleep Powder. Because I don't see any better play here. I'd lose too much momentum if they protect and Sleep Powder my Porygon. They have 2 turns of left the sun. I was just checking that, see if I could protect off the sun, but unfortunately I can't really do that. I actually do choose to protect. Did I choose to protect, or did I think I went back? I sat on this turn for a while. I was like, do I Trick Room? But if I Trick Room, then I don't think I'll be able to reverse it because Glacier will come in. I don't think I'll be getting too much damage on me this turn. So I don't think I can afford a Trick Room. I just end up Ice Beaming the Venusaur. Which that doesn't gain me anything really because this doesn't kill. Because they have Quake boosts. So I Protect here, and they go for Sleep Powder into my Protect, unsurprisingly. So I'm like, okay, it still comes down to me dodging a Sleep Powder, which isn't great. Their Groudon is at neutral, so I'm actually going to take a lot of damage from this Precipice Blades now. Especially with the Vine Lash. And now I'm just like, okay, I have to max. I have to dodge a Sleep Powder. Like, I need to get damage now or else I'm going to lose. Because I'm dead this turn to whatever Groudon goes for with Porygon anyways. Like, I think my game plan here is just dodge a Sleep Powder. I can't go for the double Protect. That's useless. Like, I think... I'm pretty sure I just targeted the Venusaur. Or did I target the Groudon? I might have Worm-Winded the Groudon. No, I Phantasm Venusaur, and I think I just attempted to recover. In the off chance they, miss P-Blades. No, I ended up attacking. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I either need to dodge or I need to get really low sleep turns. But I'm forced to max now, because I literally can't afford to not max. Because they have... Precipice is still going to do a lot to Dragapult, and they also have Shadow Claw Groudon. Unfortunately, Sleep Powder connects, and I'm just like, that's not good. So I'm like, okay, I need them to miss a Blades or something. They go for Fire Punch, which ends up taking me out anyways. Yeah, I've misremembered a lot of this. So I'm like, okay, I need to wake up now. Like, I need to wake up right now, or else I lose. Because this is really bad. Like, there wasn't really much I could have done since I led badly into this. And I chose to Wormwind and Protect. Because I didn't want to be taking too much damage here. I wanted to get them into a spot where they don't have Dusclops Glacier on the field. I thought that if they get Dusclops Glacier, I'm forced to make a choice, and I don't like that. So I choose to only take 1 here. I actually do wake up. Dragapult is the GOAT. We stand Dragapult. He wakes up. He's had his nap before the tour, and he wakes up and takes out the Venusaur. So we're not losing to Sleep Powder today. And they go for Precipice Blades, and they miss the Dragapult. So Dragapult, he put in so much work in 1 turn. My Dragapult is so good. So now I think they bring in Dusclops. They literally have to. And I'm like, okay. I Worm-Winded this Groudon. It should not be able to kill my Zacian. I think I chose to double into Dusclops. Like, I'm pretty sure... No, you know what I did? I Worm-Winded to drop them again. Because I was like, I can live a -2 Precipice Blades. Because I was pretty confident that Wormwind plus Behemoth Blade would kill because Zacian, Zacian's busted. And they don't have Intimidate in the back to weaken my damage. So, it was a really tough turn, but I ended up going for it because I thought this was my best play. I couldn't afford to let them get Trick Room. Like, if I get Trick Room, I just lose. And seeing how little that damage that did, I was a little bit concerned. But Zacian, we all know how broken Zacian is, guys. Zacian is just It's gonna fire off the Behemoth Blade, and it's gonna take out this Dusclops. And so I'm like, okay, I live the Precipice Blades. I could also dodge, which would be helpful too. They go for Shadow Claw. Actually, they don't even click Blades. They just click Shadow Claw, which that does nothing. I don't agree with that. I think they should have Blades. They should have at least tried. Okay. Yeah. Shadow Claw is weird. No, I just protected that turn. They can't do that again. They literally weren't calling a protect at all. So now they ring in Glacier. The only threat left is the Glacier. And I think I doubled the Groudon. I don't remember what I did here this turn. I'm pretty confident I doubled the... And I was nervous, so I protected. I know what I did. I protected because I wanted to force them into a position where they were uncomfortable to protect in front of my Behemoth Blade. Because I figured they had to protect here. I wanted to burn their protect. So since I'm Phantom Forcing, I want them to assume that I'm hitting their Glacier so they can't go for the double protect again. Like, this would discourage them from doing so. I just Behemoth Blade the Glacier here. There's no reason to do anything else. This Groudon is at -2, so I should be taking a hit. I'm pretty confident I should be taking a hit here. Dragapult probably won't, though, because, let's be honest, Dragapult, like, he's done so much work already. Phantom Force is gonna come out. It's gonna hit the Groudon. Not do much damage at all. And I just go from the Behemoth Blade into the Glacier, and the Glacier is gonna go down here. So as long as we don't get, like, a crit by Precipice Blades here, we should be fine to win this game. But they just choose to Fire Punch, actually, into Zacian, and that does, like, no damage. Because it's not even stab, and it's not in the sun, it's -2, so... They didn't even go for Precipice Blades. So I have my Dragapult and my Zacian still alive, and... Zordor! He scared you. He came up behind you, and he just came up with the Phantom Force. But they didn't even try to do that. They just went for the play that wouldn't win them a game anyways. And we end up taking the game. So... I don't think this was the cleanest set in the world. I only won game 1 because they threw. Like, they messed up really hard. But I think that was the best play I had.